Oh, hey, Tubies. It's Psychic Bob. Well, welcome to Friday. Happy Friday. It is so good to be with you. Well, all week long it's been astrology week here at Spirit Channel, and we've been talking about various astrological things. And I'm just so glad you guys are back here with me. I want to say thank you for joining us. Anyways, today I'm sitting here, I'm looking at one of my pendants. I collect astrology jewelry. This is one of my pendants. Probably going to be hard to see here with the glare, but it's an Aquarius pendant. It has Neptune on there. It says Aquarius. And down here, you can't really see it really clearly, but there are two little glyphs. These are called planetary glyphs, and these are the ruling planets of the sign of Aquarius. Now, some signs have two planets associated with them. So, for example, Aquarius in the olden days, the ruling planet was listed as Saturn. Today, since 1930, when they discovered Uranus, well, actually they discovered it, I think, earlier than that, but when they discovered Uranus, they felt that the planet Uranus was more appropriate for Aquarius because of its blue color. And so modern day astrologers list Uranus as the planet of Aquarius. So there are two ruling planets for the sign of Aquarius. And as I was looking at this today, I thought, so many planets, all of the signs have a ruling planet. And sometimes people ask me and say, well, what's my ruling planet? And so today I thought we would talk about what the ruling planets are for each of the zodiac signs, okay? So let us start off here with Aries, okay? We're going to spin around our big chart. There's Aries up at the top. Let's see if you can see the top of our zodiac wheel there. There we go. There's Aries up there, okay? We're going to go around the wheel. So Aries, which is March 21st through April 19th, is ruled by the planet of Mars. And I think this is really an appropriate connection because Mars is a fiery planet. And, Aries is a fire sign. And those two just work together. So the planet of Mars has a major influence over Aries. If you're an Aries, that ruling planet is kind of like a source of power for you. People say, well, what does the ruling planet do? Well, it is kind of a major influence in the astrology chart. So, for example, when your sun is in, like, so if the sun is in the sign of Aries, which is between March 21st and April 19th, the sun is directly influenced and aligned with Mars. So Mars is your ruling planet. And at that time of year, Mars is often predominantly placed in the sky. So Mars is the ruling planet of Aries, and I think those two work wonderfully together. Now, going around our wheel, actually, we're going to go this way. The next sign is Taurus. Taurus is April 20th through May 20th. The ruling planet of Taurus is Venus. And I think that's also an appropriate mix because Venus is the planet that promotes love and luxury. And Taurus is one of the signs that's very into luxury and glamour and love, very earthy energy. So Venus rules the sign of Taurus. Now, Gemini, our next one, moving around our wheel. Oops, let's see, I think I've gone the wrong way here. Well, anyways, Gemini, there it is. These aren't in exact order on this wheel. Gemini's down here. Gemini is May 21st through June 20th. And Gemini is ruled by the planet of Mercury. And if you know that the planet of Mercury influences communications, Gemini is an air sign. And that means they're a great communicator. So that makes sense to me as well, that the planet of Mercury has a major influence on all Geminis. Okay? As you're listening to these, think about, your planet that I talk about. That's kind of one of your lucky planets. So you might want to study that planet, get to know its energies, and chart it in the night sky. Something to do to keep track of your lucky star. Okay. All right. So that's Gemini's ruled by Mercury. All right. Our next sign is Cancer, and that's June 21st through July 22nd. Cancer is ruled by the moon. And that really makes sense to me. I think Cancer is one of the most psychic signs of the zodiac. And the moon definitely influences psychic energy. Cancer is also a water sign, and the moon is associated with movement of water. So again, that's a wonderful alignment. So if you're a Cancer, the moon is your planet, okay? Study the moon, get to know Mother Moon. She guides all the cancers. All right, then our next sign on the wheel is Leo, and that's July 23rd through August 22nd. Leo, you are bigger than life personalities. A lot of celebrities are Leos. Leo is ruled by the sun. Sun is your magical planet. So draw in that golden light. You know, lions have golden manes. You know, lions have golden. A lot of Leos have big gold hair, you know, big manes of hair, especially in the 80s. You remember the big hair of the 80s? Oh, it was the Leos. For a Leo, that was the glory days. Sun is your ruling planet. Now, just so you know, in astrology, the sun and the moon are considered planets. Okay, even though we know the sun is not actually a planet in the traditional sense, for astrology, it is a planet. Okay, so just know that. So you're ruled by the sun, Leo. And our next side of the wheel is Virgo, August 23rd through September 22nd. Virgo, you guys are ruled, interestingly, by the planet of Mercury. And, you know, I was trying to figure that out because that seems a strange connection for me. Virgo is an earth sign. And personally, I'm just speaking for myself, I would have thought more like Jupiter for Virgo is the reigning sign. But according to astrologers, it's Mercury. And so as I was thinking about that, I think, what's the connection between Virgo and earth sign and Mercury? Well, Virgos tend to be very nurturing. They're mother nature, the mother goddess, mother hen. And what does the mother do? She speaks soothing words. She gives reassurance. So Virgos do have a gift for communication. Virgos are excellent proofreaders and writers as well, and very strong communicators. So it makes sense to me when I reflect on it that Mercury would be the ruling planet for Virgo. You know, some of these alignments at first aren't very obvious, but in time it starts to make sense as you get to know the signs and their energies. All right, spinning around our wheel, Libra, September 23rd through October 22nd. Libra is ruled by Venus. This also does not surprise me. Venus, as I mentioned, is the planet of love and luxury. Venus is also about friendly relations. All right, friendship and love are all governed by Venus. And so Libra is one of the most amicable signs of the zodiac. They're the peacemaker, they connect with people. And so the planet Venus is your lucky planet. That's your ruling planet. And that makes sense because Libras have a way of uniting people and bringing good feelings to everybody and sharing the love, right? Libras share the love with everybody. Venus is the love planet. There you go. Good connection. I agree with that. All right, our next sign is Scorpio, October 23rd through November 22nd. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. And I find this very interesting because this makes total sense to me. Scorpio is a water sign. It's about the deep emotion. Scorpios have deep, deep souls, deep feeling, almost hidden from the world. Pluto is the planet that represents hidden truths and realities. And so Scorpio aligned with Pluto definitely makes sense. That planet will definitely give power to Scorpios. So your ruling planet is Pluto, the planet of deep, hidden mysteries and truths. Love it, love it, love it. All right, our next sign on the wheel is Sagittarius, and that's November 22nd through December 21st. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and I love that. Sagittarius, you know, when I saw this, I thought, that's interesting because Sagittarius is a fire sign. But when you study Sagittarians, they tend to be broad-minded people with big hearts and big views. They can see the bigger picture. And what is the biggest planet in the cosmos? Jupiter, at least in our solar system, Jupiter. So I think that Jupiter represents the open-heartedness, the big-mindedness of Sagittarians. So that makes sense to me. You know, as I said with these planets, you got to kind of sit down and think about them sometimes and figure out why would Jupiter influence Sagittarius. And looking at the nature of Sagittarius totally makes sense to me. Big-hearted, big-minded, biggest planet Jupiter. Perfect alignment. All right, our next sign is Capricorn, and that's December 22nd through January 19th. And Capricorn is ruled by the planet of Saturn. And this is kind of interesting because I used to think, well, what's the connection with Saturn? It's interesting. You know, there's a saying, opposites attract. And Saturn is traditionally thought of as the brakes of the zodiac. It shuts everything down. Capricorn is known as one of the fastest moving signs of the zodiac. It gets everything going. And I think Saturn is the planet that rules Capricorn because it brings that balance between speed, agility, fast movement, and balance with slowing down. And I think Saturn gives balance to Capricorn so they don't rush through life so crazily that they mess up or miss anything. Saturn, in its negative aspect, also loosens things and allows, just freewheeling energy. And Capricorn sometimes thrives from that. So, again, with some reflection, that now makes sense to me, Capricorn and Saturn. Initially, I've always thought that's a little strange until I sat down and really thought about it. So, there you go. Then we've got Aquarius, which we've spoke about briefly. That's January 20th through February 18th. That's what I am. That's what I'm wearing today. My Aquarius pendant with my Saturn and Uranus glyphs. Now, remember, Uranus wasn't discovered until the 20th century, or at least not fully understood and counted among the planets. So Saturn was the other planet that the ancients knew of. And I thought to myself, well, Aquarius, one of the challenges of this sign is they're very airy. They get off into the stratosphere. Saturn is one of those planets that has a way to bring you back to reality. Saturn is sometimes a harsh planet, but it snaps you into reality. And I think originally Saturn was chosen as the lucky star for Aquarius because it was, again, similar to Capricorn and Saturn, the grounding influence for Aquarius. So that makes sense. But modern day astrologers have decided that Uranus is the planet. And they chose that, as I said earlier, because the beautiful blueness. As an air sign, Aquarius is like expansive in their mind, like the sky. And the planet Uranus looks like a giant planet of sky. Also, Uranus is associated with radical breakthroughs and unorthodox thinking. And Aquarians are definitely accused of being radical and unorthodox at times. So again, that planet makes sense. So Saturn, Uranus, you can take your pick. Traditionally, though, modern day astrologers will tell you Uranus, but if you like Saturn, you're an Aquarius, you can claim that as your planet also. For thousands of years, people had Saturn as their planet, and Aquarius, Saturn and or Uranus. All right, there you go. And then we get to Pisces, February 19th to March 20th. Now, this is another one where we have two planets. Pisces was traditionally, up to modern day, ruled by Jupiter. In the more modern day, in the 20th century, they decided to switch it over to be Neptune as the ruling planet. Now, I personally am a fan of Neptune because Neptune is the water planet. So water planet, Pisces is a water sign. Pisces are deep psychic imagery. They draw from dreams. Neptune's the planet of dreams. I feel that Pisces and Neptune are perfect. Now, looking at Jupiter, though, I said, now, what is the connection with Jupiter? Well, Pisces, one of the things that Pisces is, when they dream big. So Jupiter is the planet of larger than life energy. Pisces also have a heart that loves everybody. Pisces are kind of the ones who are in love with the world. And the biggest expression of love and expansion is Jupiter. And Pisces are always opening their minds and hearts to bigger realities, bigger possibilities. So I can see why they chose Jupiter as the planet of Pisces. But I do think in our modern day interpretation of Neptune as the planet Pisces, personally, that's me, I think it is more appropriate. So whether you're going with Jupiter or you're going with Neptune, doesn't matter. Find the planet that you feel connected to, and you'll be right with either one. But anyways, there are our 12 zodiac signs and their ruling planets. So think about your planet today. Think about what is your lucky star, And if you're one of these people, yesterday we talked about cusps. If you didn't see that, go see that. That's in the queue right before this video. You're saying, oh no, Bob, you're making it more confusing because I'm a cusp and I still don't know now which planet. Now I've got to choose between two different planets, or in some cases, three. Well, again, this goes back to getting an ephemeris, finding out the exact literal day that you were born on the cusp, and that year, it will tell you which sign you were born under. Remember, each year it'll shift forward or backward by a day. So that's why when you're on the cusp, one year you'll be a Libra, the next year you'll be a Scorpio. Okay, depends on when you were born. And do this with the rising planets. Figure out which sign you really are if you're on the cusp. And then I'd say when you're on the cusp, you actually have the blessing of both planets. So you can draw off the 2 or 3 planets, like say, for example, if you're on the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces, okay, let's say you're February 18th or February 19th. One year you're in Aquarius, right? So Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. So actually you got 4 planets you can choose from. So if you're on a cusp of Pisces and Aquarius, you got 4 planets. You can choose Saturn, Uranus, Jupiter, or Neptune. So you got a lot of blessings. So when you're on the cusp like that, don't let it stress you out. It just means you have more options that you can enjoy and draw power from. Anyways, there are our ruling planets. I hope this helps you. Tell me in the box below, what sign are you? Are you a cusp baby? Do you feel connected to the ruling planet of your sign? Listen, guys, thank you for being here. Keep it here with us. Tomorrow, on Saturday, we'll continue with our astrology. And we're going to talk about the birthstones of all the zodiac. What is your birthstone? What is your lucky gemstone of power? So you don't want to miss it. I think you'll get a good perspective on that. You guys are best. Listen, tell me what sign you're on below and what you feel about your ruling planet. All right, listen, we'll be back here later tonight. We're going to do live psychic readings at 7 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific. For those of you in Europe, midnight London time, 1 a.m. Paris. Friday night live psychic readings. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you here tonight. And until then, keep your feet on the ground, reach for the stars, and know that that zodiac wheel is spinning and bringing us all blessings. We'll see you tonight. Thanks for being here. Happy Friday, and blessed be.